Wearing like...
Hello and welcome to part 4 of the JM8 8-string acoustic box sound thingy, my bob. I've just hit the mic stand. So, where are we? I've painted the instrument and so we have it here. I've taken it off of the hanger, so it's left me a nice little area here. All the contact points of the soundboard and the internal or the inside of this soundbox are now unpainted because of sort of transfer of resonance. That's the idea, at least. So now I need to just basically fettle in or wax up the fretboard and clean up some of the edges and roll the frets to make it as comfy as possible. One thing that was recommended, although these will technically act like a humbucker in theory, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to shield off the insides of these just to create a Faraday cage, and then we're on to assembly. There's a few little bits and pieces that I still need to figure out. I have these, and these are going to go inside said cavity. Is that the right side? Yep, the right side. That's going to screw down. It's going to then give me a guide and a spring perch. This is like a little rebate there for where the spring is now going to mount in, if I can pull that out. Basically, if I need to change anything, I can with little adapters just for control, and then I can basically manage the height of that pickup in relation to everything else, and hopefully start making some noise. My mum is making the bag as previewed in the very end of part 3, so that'll be ready, fingers crossed, for the Bristol Guitar Show, where I'm going to meet the client up there, and hopefully he will allow me to record a little demo of him playing. So without further ado, let's fettle in the fretboard and get painting on these cavities. Something I've got to do prior to installing these the first time round was to check for continuity across the saddles, and I run a ground wire which I flatten out on my vise, so this little wire goes underneath all of these little posts. Now it's really important to make sure you ground the bridge in any case, but with individual saddles it can be a bit of a nightmare because you have to basically earth them all. Because of these are like a powder coated finish, and that finish prevents any conductivity. So what I've had to do is to basically take the saddles individually off and sand the bottom to get to the raw metal. So now if I check for continuity, now this one annoyingly doesn't beep. If anyone knows how to make this one beep, it'd be really useful. But you know, hopefully if I put the prongs across the saddle, and we get a reading. So that's off, and then there's my continuity. So hopefully with one of them into the end, if I touch then the tip, I then get a reading. And the reason why I found out was because I wasn't getting a reading. So I investigated, found out the finish was preventing the grounding of these, so I had to take them off to then re-put them back on. So always worth checking prior. And of course, got my trusty Rossi ready to go.
Oh man, oh.
So I've cut the nut using my stage 1, which is basically a 0.10 or a 10 gauge nut file, which gives me the centers of all of them, and then I step it to this one, which then I've already got like the center lines, and then I can guide it for the 9 to 80. So I'm using probably my favorite set strings ever, which is the 9 to 80 MYXLs, and as I was referencing the nut slot. So these jigs basically dial it in to near enough, and now the finessing really begins. So what I'm going to do is measure the height of the first fret, and then basically stack that up in shims or with my feeler gauges, and then I can dial it in, and then giving the break angle for where it's going to mount into these string holders. Now this is an interesting one because obviously normally I don't have an acoustic resonating box thing, but we'll work that out. Yeah, now it's just about finessing the electric guitar side and dialing all of this in. See, we got volume for the neck, which won't work in a mono scenario, but then we got volume and then tone for the bridge. So when running in mono, it will just be the back two pickups. So what I've done, pickups come out of here, go to this little solderless junction box just for future proofing and maintenance and diagnosing, and then it goes up to where it needs to for the controls, and then basically the positives for the from the two volumes then trace back to here. That's as good as I'm gonna get it, I think. So now what I need to do, because I've had the Granger guitar parts, gone with a chrome pinwheel for in here. Being in such a dark position, you want to be able to get it. Probably never have to use that, but got it, might as well. And then because there's a theme of black hardware on the outside, same with you know, everything else, that I need to put these on as to not distract from the overall shape. So yeah, just last little bits, and then it's going to Bristol, I think. So it is the next day again, like I always seem to start a chapter, so to speak. I've actually picked up, if I turn the camera around, I've actually picked up the bag from Mother, and it looks really nice. It's nice and snug. Obviously this is in preparation for this to be posted to the client. He's flying over to Bristol to see the guitar show, and then I'll post it to him just for ease. I have, like I mentioned previously, picked up loads of stuff from for the guitar show, and because it's all freestanding now, I haven't got a wall or a shell to work with. So this is One of the boxes I'm leaving because it's basically a black curtain, takes up a lot of space. So I've assembled the amplifier thingy, where I've got my 2x12 open back. The dual terror will sit in this little cubby hole here, it's obviously on its side. Then I've got some glassware for plectrums, sweets and stickers. That will sit on the table, which the glass is poking there. I've got my 2 posts for the quick lock QF51s, I think they're called, and then that box there is filled with all the actual electric guitar stands, and I've had to mod them to sit at the right angle for me. And then the little bag next to it is my massive hero banner backdrop of Judge. Last but not least, bag. This will contain all my accessories. Oh, and my quad cortex, I'm just going to slot it in there. So I got a quad cortex that'll go with it, with some headphones, just to kind of give options for playing in ears or out loud, which I checked with the venue, and that is all good. So yeah, left the seats in, or left two of the seats in the back, because I didn't need to take them all out, but I'm picking up 2 friends on my way through in Exeter who are going to come along with the show and help me out, give me some support, moral, and hopefully in the form of drinks and sweets. So it's 6 o'clock on the road, on the way to Bristol, as Matt likes to call it, which made me laugh. Bristol Guitar Show, but I'm going to stop in Exeter to pick up a couple of friends, and they are going to help me along in the stand for a little bit. I think I've got everything. I've packed everything. It's the annoying thing is that when you try to be methodical, like for me at least, I overthink things. So like, for example, I stopped over on the side of the road to triple check that all my quick lock stands are actually in the box, which can only ever be in the box because I only ever put it in that box. But in the back of my head I was like, are they? And of course you can't check when you're driving, so I had to pull over and check just to give me peace of mind. But yeah, cruise control's on, so now on the way to the Bristol Guitar Show. It is Monday. I'm kind of shattered, so now it's the unpack. So recording in that hall whilst all the public were in and making noise, it was a bit overwhelming, and I couldn't really get much of a sound, and nor did we want to kind of fight that sound by blasting louder sounds to try and capture something for the video. So that's why you've seen just a sort of quick handover, so to speak. What have I learned? What have I learned from this particular show? Actually, the Bristol show was busier than I thought, and it was in a larger, it's at Ashton Gate. It's not actually like inside the grounds, it's just on the skirts underneath where you sit. But there's plenty of room to actually set up and walk around. It was much bigger than I thought it would be, and there's a lot more people. I guess being one day and slightly shorter than the Birmingham show by being 10 till 4, it's a lot more focused, I guess. People love a freebie. People love malwams, because what I tend to do is have plectrums and stickers in like little bowls. And yeah, people do love a freebie even when they shouldn't be. Oh well, live and learn. People love to see the instruments. A few people recognized me from the YouTubes, which was weird. It's very weird when people know you and you're like, oh hello, I watch your videos. So that's an interesting thing for me.
thank you to everyone who sort of came and said hello, to everyone who tried out the instruments, and yeah, it was lovely to meet everyone and see you. So the show wrapped up at 4, we packed down, took an hour or so because you're sort of slowly doing it, packing the van and fighting with all the other exhibitors that were also trying to get home as quickly as possible. Got home at 8, caught up on the Formula 1 and then went to bed. Oh, another thing I have learned, don't go to an aqua obstacle water park the day before. I did something to my shoulder and now it hurts to raise it above shoulder height, which really wasn't pleasant. And don't wear shoes that you bought within the last week. Yeah, they weren't quite bedded in as much as I was hoping. Towards the end of the day, they were rubbing a little bit, but nothing like Doc Martens when you're trying to break those in. Now it's just about taking all the stuff back to storage. I keep a couple of things here. So thank you for watching this. If you have liked the journey of this instrument from part 1 all the way till now, thank you so much for watching all the way through. The comments for this particular series is actually being really overwhelmingly positive. It's a very interesting instrument and I hope I get a few more along the way. I'm slowly growing subscribers, which is great. Please like and comment, share with other people. The YouTube is my weakest sort of social platform that I really want to grow. Any love and attention that people can help me with would be greatly appreciated. But until the next series, thank you and goodbye.